Everything you need to know about YNW Melly's case. Flag on the play, flag on the play. See, YNW consisted of YNW Melly, YNW Portland, YNW Juvie, and YNW Sack Chaser. On October 16th at 4:35 a.m., YNW Portland entered the emergency room at Memorial Marymount, requesting help for his two friends that were fatally shot in the vehicle. Staff removed YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. YNW Portland was questioned soon after, stating that he had left the recording studio when a car came up on them and started firing. Here comes YNW Melly leaving the recording studio, getting behind the driver. Then comes Portland. He gets behind the passenger. Reports say that they left the studio in Fort Lauderdale when a vehicle pulled up to him and started firing. After Portland was questioned by the police, they put him in a police car and drove him to the exact place where the incident happened. After close examination, nothing was found. YNW Portland was tested for gun residue, which results were negative. Fort Lauderdale police went to the recording studio where the manager confirms that they all left in the same vehicle. Now, who is YNW's manager? 100K track, right? Remember that. Since the surveillance video showed that YNW Melly, YNW Portland was sitting in the back, YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser were sitting in the front. So police got a search warrant for the vehicle. So this is the vehicle that they got a search warrant for. As you can see, there are bullet holes in the side of the vehicle. You got 3 bullet holes in the passenger seat. You got 5 bullet holes in the rear passenger seat. Police also noticed that there were multiple gunshots through the back window. There was one .40 caliber shell found in the rear driver's seat. That single casing contradicted everything that YNW Portland said, because it was in the same place as YNW Melly was sitting. So that evidence supported that the victims were shot inside of the vehicle. And the bullet holes on the exterior of the vehicle were there to throw off the police so they wouldn't know that the crime happened inside of the vehicle. So after the police found the shell casing in YNW's seat, they went back to YNW Portland and confronted him with the new evidence. So after the new evidence, police got a search warrant for everybody's. YNW Portland said that YNW Melly was in the vehicle with them, but he pulled over on the side of the road where he got into another vehicle. So after they had warrants for their phones, they used cell phone mapping and tracked their travel locations, verifying that Portland's information was false. The original crime scene was a false location due to the new evidence, proving that he was lying about the whole statement that he made to the police. Cell phone records show that YNW Melly, YNW Juvie, and YNW Sack Chaser were moving in the same direction. Then it shows YNW Melly moving separately from YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. The tracker on the telephone also showed that YNW Portland had drove around for a few hours with the deceased bodies of his friends for a few hours. During this time, YNW Portland had changed his clothes. When he left the studio, he had a different outfit on compared to the one in the hospital video. On November 11, 2018, a K9 was requested to find the actual crime scene recorded in the phone records. So the K9 showed reaction to this crime scene. So this showed that they stood on each side of the road and fired into the vehicle. Officers recovered 8 bullet casings. The third marker was 2 different colored glass shards from tinted windows from a vehicle, similar to the Jeep that was involved in the incident. These shell casings were Blazer, exactly the same type that were found inside of the vehicle where YNW Melly was sitting. So with all the new evidence, the vehicle was stopped. 1 or 2 weapons were used to fire into the vehicle from opposite directions. The bullet trajectory was inconsistent of the manner of a moving vehicle. So from the new evidence, they could conclude that YNW sack chaser was shot from the back left, came from an upward position, meaning that the person that behind him was shorter than him. YNW Juvie had flash burns on his face, meaning that the firearm was very, very close at the time of the crime. And the new evidence proves that the gunshots to YNW Juvie came from the rear of the vehicle also. 14 days after the crime, YNW Melly was on Snapchat and he said that YNW Portland is the realest person he know and is always going to be with him because he saved him. So essentially, YNW Melly did the crime allegedly, and YNW Portland dealt with the police and the hospitals. They did a documentary where they said that YNW was a target of a drive-by shooting, which placed YNW Melly in the car at the time of the crime. Also, they had an interview with his mother where he said that he was a victim of a drive-by shooting where his friends were unalived, placing him at the scene of the crime once again. YNW Melly's girlfriend, Mama, said that she witnessed the FaceTime and YNW Melly was hiding, waiting to get picked up. Mind you, he had his phone on him before, during, and after the crimes. So by phone mapping, they could track his locations. This is how they were able to charge him with a capital crime, punishable by life or the chair. A day after Portland was arrested, YNW Melly turned himself in to Broward County. The firearms were never recovered. Then you have to ask yourself, who was picking YNW Melly up? A lot of people are saying that it was a 100K track that picked YNW Melly up after the crimes. And he allegedly is the person that got rid of the firearms. This case has no firearms. So people are saying, all allegedly, that 100K track is the person that picked YNW Melly up and got rid of all the firearms. Why isn't 100K track on this case? Is he holding evidence for prosecution? Melly phone is the reason why he got locked up. See, 100K track voluntarily took YNW Melly's phone to the police station and gave it to him, right? He didn't have a search warrant. He didn't have a subpoena or nothing. He gave YNW Melly's phone to detectives. And once he did that, T-Mobile has a feature where they can tell if the phone is inside the car, outside. Melly phone pinpoint the exact location of the crime scene, which was given to detectives by a 100K track. Then you have to ask yourself, why would a 100K track give the detectives YNW Melly's phone? Now, YNW Melly was signed to a 100K track, right? So he is the beneficiary of all the assets of YNW Melly. See, all of his artists are in jail or have passed away. That leaves a 100K track rich because he gets all the royalties off the artists. Also, they have life insurance policies on the artists that they signed. King Von, right, was signed to who, right? YNW Melly. If he's in jail, he can't get his royalties. It goes to his manager. It's a breach of contract. Even in YNW Melly's cell phone, he confessed to unaliving 2 people and said he had no regrets for doing what he did. So with all this evidence built against YNW Melly and YNW Portland, there's no question why YNW Portland did a plea agreement.
You made a mistake. Your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Made a mistake.
Flag on the play, flag on the play. See, what happened was I was patrolling these YouTube streets out here on my water gun with holy water in it. Mr. No Lacking out here just looking for you damn demons. Get back, you damn heathens, you get back.